Not bad. I mean, we had a good time. It was still like, yeah, no one was like mean or anything. It was just a lot of uh, hand holding and different stuff that my son Brady wouldn't recognize. Um, but anyway, it's pretty out there. I am going ahead. I already started recording the video of today's sales meetings. We're going to call it or the meeting to order. It's August 19th. Happy Wednesday. It's another day, we're almost past August, so we only got one more meeting left in August. And very happy to be here in front of you today, delivering a lot of news and giving some updates and announcements. And obviously with our affiliates here on board, it makes this more fun. So let's go ahead and start sharing my screen and we'll get on with the show. Got a new backdrop going for you guys. This is home. This is LA. This is where we're just talking about the beach together. And that's something special that we have here in Southern California is our beautiful beaches, great weather. And I don't know, you guys were here. There was a heat wave this past week, so I tried to escape that. Nice and cool at the beach. Uh, just one, if you're called on or you're going to ask on your, please, affiliates, if you're going to pitch, mute and unmute yourself so we can avoid any background noise. And today's inspirational quote of the week, I'm going to talk about Warren Buffett's. And he just said, games are won by players who focus on the playing field, not by those whose eyes are glued to the scoreboard. And ultimately, what I take from this is there's a lot of people who are fixed at the score. They're looking and they're really affixed on and concentrated on the wrong thing, which is the outcome. And did I get the listing? Did I get this commission? Did I earn $100,000 this year or $200,000 this year? And they're really tracking themselves in relation to others, comparing themselves. But ultimately, we all are playing our own game. We are all competing against ourselves. In our lives, in our world, I have a different maybe perspective from everyone, but you're running your own race. So you're not playing this game against anyone else. You shouldn't be comparing yourself because we all have different backgrounds, different friends, different network, and different challenges that we have to overcome. So our unique situations, these are our own individual games that we're playing. And when you take it like that kind of perspective, you're in control of the ball. The ball is in your court. How are you going to spend your days, your time, your week prospecting? How are you communicating and building your relationships with those around you and your sphere of influence? And if you're not winning the game, then the ball's in your court. What are you going to do? Where are you going to take it? So that's the business side of this, and I hope that maybe kind of put some inspiration and motivation into your lives to be the best player you can be. Speaking of players, the NBA has just started. I don't know if any of you guys just watched the games the past couple of days. I've been excited to see the Clippers win. It was sad to see the Lakers lose last night. I'm rooting for both of them to see the Western Conference Finals, and it'll be very interesting to see how the league and NBA continues its competition because I'm a fan of the NBA. There's really good competition going there. And I also curious how they're controlling the COVID and watching some of these vlogs behind the scenes. So I encourage you to watch some of this. This is some of the best basketball you're going to see all year. And we got really good teams playing right now. Welcome back. Cole Baker Dynasty is reopened and just trying to make sure and keep us aware to not let our guard down, keep our mask on when you're walking around and talking to people because the California cases have not stopped. It has not flattened. Again, we have another 70,000 cases since last week. So it's roughly 10,000 people a day. And it's something that we have no control of. All we can do is control our safety, where we go, and we can't know who's in front of us or who has the virus. They may not have symptoms. So please, please, please do not let your guard down. So wear your mask. We still got someone on $5 Cole Baker Dynasty face masks for sale. I do have one for free for every agent if you want to stop by. And you can get tested with the County of LA for free. I think they're still doing testing. The brokerage COVID protection plan, you can always click on this link and read up on what we're doing to make our office and environment more safe and in compliance for you guys. I hope you guys took advantage of a lot of the great classes at Coldwell Banker University. I sent out a couple weeks ago a lot of offline courses, unique learning opportunities, and there's still new ones that you can still register for. So check out CB University under CB Exchange and find all the different courses that you can, and there's a lot of free ones that you can take to improve yourself. Ultimately, I think what you're going to get more value to is I want to see if you can consistently put on your calendar to join me on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. because my keys to success is focused on developing agents, educating them on unique situations, strengthening their skill sets, broadening their perspective, and ultimately teaching you how not only be a better salesperson, but teaching you how to be a better human. So I think differently, I teach differently, and I think you can get a lot of value when you hear me speak. And if you want a sample of what some of my trainings are like, go to my YouTube channel and you can see and listen to them. I try my best to really put new content, fresh ideas in your head to really challenge you to think with good experiences and practical things that I've been resolving or handling. And you know, it's not often you get a broker manager training you directly. So take advantage of it. You guys are lucky. Wednesday at 10 a.m. we always have our sales meeting, so mark your calendars for that too as well. And if you're here right now, okay, you're hearing this, then thank you for that. But if you do happen to have a conflict or you're missing a meeting or training, don't worry. You can check out my YouTube channel. It's right here. Just type Kelvin Chang and you should be able to find me with that photo over there. Upcoming, and Maria here is on the call. Maria is going to be talking to us and sharing with Villa Home Inspections. Ask the Pros. I'm sorry. This is maybe this is not Maria. This is Ask the Pros. This is Villa Home Inspection. Tony Escanta. So he is a certified commercial and residential home inspector, property inspector, and has various type of things to share regarding appliances. You can see the water heaters and the AC systems over there. And those looks like really important for us to understand the different things about what's going on in today's inspections, because we all know that R22 is the refrigerant in AC systems, and they're phasing them out of in California, Freon, to a different type of gas. I think R18. So learn about this stuff. Learn so that you become a lot smarter in front of your clients. And these red flags, these things that we're looking and identifying in home inspections could save you if you know how to overcome this situation, how to resolve it. Because everything in the property, you can pretty much replace anything, get anything fixed. And I suggest that you go ahead and join us for that. AAR and with Alex Z will be teaching us Feng Shui, the coronavirus edition. And I think it's really cool he's putting on a class next week on August 25th, 10 a.m. to 11:30. You can subscribe and sign up on the Join Zoom meetings. This is hosted by the Global Committee from the AAR, and I happen to be the AAR Board of Directors liaison for the Global Committee. So I want to promote this. It's a free class, and he's a good instructor and teacher. He makes things very interesting. So I hope you can join him next week. And obviously we do have our CAR Reimagine coming in October. Hey, that's already coming in less than 2 months. So we're subscribe and register for this. You can watch this at home and get great content with great speakers, and just keeping the slide in front of you as a reminder. It's on October 12th to 14th. And absolutely free for all members, unless you want to have a special session that they charge for. All right. When I talk about transactions and we talk about what are the primary issues that are really uh, having situational needs, I can tell you through experience, every single real estate transaction, you need to have an expectation there will be some sort of issue or problem that you will need to step up, brainstorm, think, and resolve some sort of situation at one phase or another. There's different problems that arise, but the difference between a good realtor and a great realtor is simply the capability to negotiate well and proactively plan ahead and how to overcome these obstacles that might possibly come your way or the client's way or the property's way. We can't control everything, but we can control some of the outcomes that we have simply by making sure and following up and understanding what type of situations or curveballs could be thrown our way. I tell you right now in 2020 and during this COVID period, the primary issues that I'm seeing is financing. There's a lot of delays regarding the lender being able to get the loan approved, a lot of loan qualification issues because some borrowers may have lost their jobs or they have less hours, so they have less income. There's issues reaching out to a verification of an employer because they're not around or not as accessible or not in the office. And so they're taking extra time to find an employer or getting a verification. And it just takes extra time because of documentation gathering. They continue to ask for new and new things, and you feel that you're satisfying certain conditions, and then they're going to come back and ask you for more documentation. So employment is the issue. I hear you, Dan. I'll call on you soon. Reserves and complicated situation. Like a lot of times buyers don't know that they need to have like at least 2 months of reserves after the close of escrow saved away. And there's complicated situations for financing for people who are like us, independent contractors or business owners, people who are foreigners, people who are doing stated income or that don't have high tax returns, but they might be cash heavy. People who are sourcing their funds, from gift letters. There's a lot of stricter regulation in the lending environment. I can tell you that they are being a little bit more guidelines and making sure that we don't have a 2008 crash like we did before. I have heard of issues regarding appraisal values not being met, and scheduling out an appraisal is very difficult sometimes because depending on the area, appraisers are busy. There are tons of people doing refinancing right now, and they're loading up their schedules. A ton of people are trying to take advantage of the low interest rates. So you might be looking. I had a transaction myself. I had to wait 2 weeks to get the appraiser to visit the property, and then they gave us 11 days turnaround time to bring and send back the appraisal to the lender. That's pretty much the entire escrow period in itself. So we basically needed to negotiate an extension, and there was no way to reassign that appraiser because there was no one else available. So satisfying the underwriter conditions is something that you should constantly stay in touch with the lender, not in an annoying way, but trying to be cooperative and collaborative. Hey, what are the upcoming underwrite? What can I help you with? Do I need to contact my client to send you something? Do I need to gather some documentation from the termite? Ask a lot of questions because there was one situation where the lender didn't tell the agent that a termite clearance was required. This happened to be a VA loan, and it was not negotiated in the contract. Nothing was mentioned about termite. And at the end, the lender says, oh, we need a termite completion. And then it's not on the contract. And they assume that the agent knows. Guess what? Don't make assumptions. Ask the questions to clarify. Dan, you had to mention, you had a comment for something? Oh, I forgot to ask the affiliates to come on. You're right.
No, my question was, I'm hearing a lot that there's a lot of offers on listing properties, and I'm wondering if listing agents are kind of helping the listing client sift through the offers to kind of focus on ones that might be people that are less likely to fall out of escrow, like, and I just throw it out, industry, movie industry folks are out of work right now for the most part, but police officers are at work. Is there any kind of guidance that listing agents are giving sellers, to keep them from falling out of escrow?
I mean, each listing agent, typically listing agents should be experienced, and they should be knowledgeable enough that if there are situations that come up or arise, if they don't know the answer, they do, I want everyone to know, you can always reach out to me or Amy to support you and answer questions. I mean, in terms of the guidance and what they're saying behind the scenes, it's hard for a broker manager to know every single thing that's going on, but the guidance we're doing right now, a lot of it is more concerns towards COVID and how we're marketing the property without open houses, and what strategies can we take to market the property well, expose it, and properly set up safe showings, disinfecting, and our protocols that we're taking. Those are the primary issues that we're facing in scheduling them out.
Calvin, can I jump in about Dan's question or comment?
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, Scott.
okay, so Dan, what you're talking about, what a lot of listing agents will do is they will do a cross qualification, meaning they'll have their lender look at the buyer, not every single buyer, because you get like 30 offers or something, you want to narrow it down to your like top 2 or 3 or 1 or something. And their lender will look at the loan package and talk to the other lender to make sure that they dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's to make sure that the buyer is actually going to get to the finish line. So that's like, I do that for some of my listing agents, not all, but some will ask me to do that. And then like, I know on my end, they will ask me sometimes to provide, credit report, proof of funds, desktop underwriter and all that good stuff. And, I have to deal with their lender. So the experienced agents are asking for stuff like that. They want to make sure it's going to get to the finish line.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. I was looking for my screen. Oh, here we are now. I'm sorry, affiliates. You guys, I didn't call on you. I totally just got into the whole inspirational thing, and then I forgot to call on you guys. Let's go ahead and start doing our affiliate introductions. You guys are all here on the call, and you guys were here on time. I apologize. Start pitching it. You guys want to go? Dan, you want to go first and go ahead and pitch your...
Sure. Dan the Mover, AQMS, National Van Lines Agent for the San Gabriel Valley. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Maria, how about you?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Maria Howard, over Public Home Protection. I hope you're all doing well. Just to remind what Calvin said earlier, tomorrow we will have a class, Ask the Pros. I will be hosting it along with Via Home Inspections, along with Drain Doctor, and we're going to go over the red flags on home inspections. I'm seriously, this class is a really good class. You do not want to miss it because we will explain thoroughly on when you need to go forward more with a sewer camera scoping or other type of professionals to come in besides your home inspection. So see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Perfect, Maria. Thanks. Appreciate it. We'll do Scott and then Unita.
Hi, I'm Scott Shimamoto, Journey Mortgage Advisors, and I'm a lender, and I just wanted to encourage you guys to use your local pros, your local affiliates, because especially if you're on the buying end, like we're talking about whether your offer is going to get accepted. There's multiple offers on these properties, and it's really important that, like the listing side of the house, if they know, like the lender, you have a much better shot of getting your offer accepted versus some guy in the middle of Nebraska in a sweatshop. You know what I mean? So I've had deals where the listing agent picked our offer because they knew me, and it's really important. Same thing with everybody else here, all the other affiliates that are here to support you. Just like you would not, you guys are local experts, we're local experts. So that's really important. Just want to let you know that.
Thanks.
So thank you. Thanks for supporting me, guys.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, we'll go to Unita and then Nancy and then Annie. Unita?
Hi, good morning, everyone. You need a Woo home warranty for America, your 13 months home warranty. Let me know if you need any help on the home warranty. We have a great promotion. I mentioned that last week. We have a listing coverage for free for 6 months for all of you guys have a listing. And for the buyer's coverage, if you are purchasing a first kitchen refrigerator, we are giving the second refrigerator for free. So if you have any question, reach out to me. We have, I do speak Chinese, Indonesian, English, and we're here to help you. Thank you.
Great. Okay, Nancy, unmute yourself.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Nancy Chan, Lawyer's Title. Just want to give you a reminder, when you see an equity line in your prelim for listing agents, please ask your seller if they've closed the account or give you their latest payment coupon or statement so we can close on time. There's a lot of lenders are very slow in responding. So it is good to order a prelim ahead of time so we know what we're up against. Nancy Chan, 39 years in the industry. Take care, everybody.
All right, thank you. And then Annie and then Nicole.
Hi, good morning. This is Annie from Chicago Title. So sometimes you might want to, reach out to your escrow officers to find out whether there's a recording confirmation on your transactions. So Chicago Title, we have this new website. You're gonna have a first-handed recording confirmation directly from our recording agency, Senegal. So you just log into this website, type in the property title order number, and instantly it will show you whether there's a recording confirmation or not. So just in case you cannot get hold of your escrow officers, and you can actually utilize our website for that. And one side note is the information about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They just announced that they're gonna raising fees for lenders on all mortgage refinances starting, I believe in September. So they're gonna add 0.5% of the loan amount to the consumer's cost. So average is about like $1,400, and it's gonna have a lot of changes for people they have in refinances. So if you need that articles, I will forward it to Calvin, and you can get that information. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. And Nicole, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Calvin. Thank you. Great start to the meeting, and thank you for allowing all of the affiliates to be a part of your weekly meeting.
All right, we miss your faces, everybody. That's why.
Yes, we missed you, and happy to hear that the office is open. Are you allowing visitors, or is it just to the agents?
We're allowing you guys as visitors. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Just wear a mask and follow protocols, and disinfect and be safe.
Okay. Thank you. Nicole Menard, Stewart Title. Speaking of masks, we have masks if you need those, and we have hand sanitizers. So if you need any of those items, let us know. Also, if you're not utilizing our Stewart Now app, let me know. I'd be more than happy to get you set up. This allows you to pull property profile information, farm information, as well as view any open orders that you have under your name. You can pull up the prelim, and also you're notified when the transaction closes as well. Have a fantastic day and stay cool and hydrated. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicole. Appreciate that. Dan, do you have your hand up for something, or you want me to take it down?
Nope, we can take it down. Sorry.
All right.
I did actually want to mention, though, that next month on September 17th, I've got a class at the AAR, the ins and outs of moving, cover everything from college moves to renting a truck.
Okay.
Thanks.
Very cool. And any affiliates that want to schedule out some training, please contact JL. She's helping me with the scheduling, so she'll help you. For Thursdays, we usually have a training available depending on who books first. Let's go ahead now and continue on with the slides. Let me move on back to where we were at. I was talking to you about the financing issues as a problem, and that has been a primary problem that I've been seeing, because lenders aren't being able to get loan docs prepared in the right time, and now agents are stuck in a situation of having to either choose to remove contingencies, being sent a notice to perform, or we're getting closing issues as well in terms of timing. I'll talk to you a little bit about that on the next slide. But here's other primary issues. If you're an agent, whether you're on the buyer side or the listing side, you need to be wary and knowledgeable about these potential issues I want to talk about, such as the concerns and uncertainty with the property condition. When the buyers are doing their due diligence, they're going to be doing and sending over a home inspector that Maria Howard's inspector is going to go ahead and teach us about. So be on the lookout and know what the inspectors are looking for, because there's a difference between something that is a little bit more, I guess, cosmetic versus something that's structural or has really, potential damage if you don't take attention to it. So know the differences, because to me, I'm not concerned about anything cosmetic, because it could be replaced. You could replace the carpet. You could replace some holes in the wall or some loose fittings or fixtures. But there's certain things that are really concerning to me, which is the foundation, the structure, the roof, and and very important things about the property, as well as not just condition, but even aspects about what I could build on there. That's part of your due diligence, what its potential could be. Is there any unpermitted areas? So I'm going to talk to you about that as well. The removal of contingencies is one of the areas where, to me, that's a phase of a critical point in time where listing agents and sellers are antsy to hear whether or not your buyer wants to move forward. And to be quite honest, removing the contingency from a seller perspective, this is a reasonable request. There's a contract in place. The buyer has 17 days to do due diligence, 21 days to get their financing in place. And all that time, 3 weeks, is wasted if the buyer cancels on you, and the seller has that fully at risk because they've wasted 21 days and they still have to pay their fixed daily expenses, their property tax and their mortgage, and the seller is going to eat it when the buyer cancels. So it's absolutely reasonable to put the buyer's deposit at risk once the contracted period of the days have lapsed. So as from a buyer perspective, if I'm a buyer's agent, you try to not put your buyer's deposit at risk, but at a certain point, you need to push the buyer to get the financing ready, and they cannot just protect their deposit for the entire time. That's not really fair in flipping and seeing both sides of the coin. The buyer needs to make a commitment at some point or not. So that's the point in time. Have a sit down with the client, talk to them about putting the buyer's deposit at risk. It's fully going towards the purchase price. And if they didn't get their financing in place, that's not the seller's fault that your financing and the lender that the buyer selected did not perform. So it's really the buyer needs to get on top of things, and the buyer's agent needs to get and communicate with the lender to make sure that everything is going smoothly. I hope you guys are really working hard towards being able to meet deadlines. Controlling the client's emotion, that's where the agents really can separate yourself, because it's a very emotional period of time, especially during the removal of contingency period. It's very stressful. There's a lot of moving parts going on from all ends. Typically during this 17 to 21 day mark, the appraisal is starting to come back. There's a lot of different items to review. Not only is there a title, checking the title and any easements, but you're also reviewing the financials of the HOA and the minutes. A lot of times these HOAs, they come in very late. There's the termite issues to overcome, and there's also the condition repairs and requests. So to me, my suggestion for you guys is learn to control these client emotions by mentioning these things up front and early on. I don't want you to have a financing issue, buyer. Please get every document you can to your lender today or tomorrow. Work on all the stuff because I don't want you to go through that stress. Is that fair? Great. Do your home inspection early so you give me enough time so I can negotiate them out with the listing agent. Okay, do me a favor by performing so I have something to come back with. And if you want to hire a sewer scope, or you want to do a roofer or a licensed plumber, electrician, then you need to have that home inspection done like the first week, so that way we know and we'll be able to review the report, and I can schedule someone else out, because we only have the 17 days, and that's plenty of time. But I need the report on hand. I need to see what further professionals they recommend, and that I encourages them to do that. And I encourage them to do the appraisal early, so that way I can figure out, is there any situations or negotiating the price, or any sometimes the appraisal needs to come back because the property wasn't in compliance. Maybe not all utilities were on. Maybe there was a situation where they couldn't access a certain area, or the appraiser just busy because they're doing too many refinances. So, or the value is short. Maybe I have to challenge the appraisal by submitting different and reviewing their comps. So all these delays could be prevented if you manage your transactions and escrows properly, early, and don't wait till the last minute. Don't be a procrastinator when it comes to your duties from the buyer side or the listing side. Be wary of every time frame, and I can tell you your transactions will be much more smoother when you have things under control. If there's something that comes out of your control, then it's absolutely understandable to negotiate extensions or work things out. But I don't want to see any faults on your end for failing to do something or non-performance. But things out of our control, maybe there's a fire, earthquake. I mean, last week there was a big fire in Azusa. And I'm just telling you, there's things like crime, or something becomes broken, like there's a small leak in the faucet, or something, a pipe burst. You know, those are ordinary things that we can get resolved and get extensions for, but do everything that you can do in your control. Now, we talk about HOAs and CC&Rs, and order, if you're the listing agent, order these very early, because they could be a delay item that the buyer reviews something and they have a ability to cancel if they don't like a small CC&R item. So you need to get these reports out to the buyers ASAP, even the termite report as well. And there's local ordinances and restrictions in place. So you just be very knowledgeable about what property you're selling and any applicable disclosures you should share, like mellow roofs, taxes, or rent control, or local restrictions like, like there's different city ordinances for rent control. And obviously easements, ingress, egress, as well as encroachments. These things can pop up and show you on the title report. So review those items with your client early, ask the questions, go to the city or call the city. I don't know if they're, the counter I think is open on most of them. And make sure you're comfortable with the zoning and the potential and the future potential and the records of permits or not. And I'm telling you, the unpermitted areas are always challenging to overcome. There's some people who are more confident, and some people, first-time home buyers, are very scared of unpermitted areas, but everything could be resolved. It's just a matter of a cost, or getting something permitted, paying the fees, getting a contractor. Maybe you're gonna have to open up some walls, but you can resolve these items. And you can also transfer the responsibility to the buyer if no one wants to work on anything during the escrow period. There's a lot of set solutions that could be done. And I want to make sure that if a problem arises, you know that there's different various ways to handle it. I know tenant occupied homes is a big issue going on, and they're not allowing all the inspectors or not being cooperative. So I understand that's a difficult situation that we can't control. And if people are not or denying access, or they're being fearful of COVID, I understand, but there's ways to overcome these issues and really try to work things out. So review the lease, review the arrangement, review how cooperative they are, and do your best in these situations and get me involved if you have problems. We can talk about unpermitted areas already, but there's a lot of non-code compliance or grandfathered areas that are out of code, but used to be acceptable, like garages in the built right on the property, like near the property line, or various setbacks that now they have more larger setback requirements. And city inspections would reveal these things, but not every city does them. And the ones that do, they're very hard to also get your city inspection, get the report back on a timely manner. So plan ahead, order them early, and get over these obstacles as soon as you can, and see whether or not there's any notices or violations on the property, because sometimes there could be something that's revealed during the transaction. Any questions on these primary issues? Okay. I don't see anything, but lastly, I just want to share to you in the bottom. If you learn to be a problem solver in transactions, guess what? You really become invaluable to the client, and you become a true professional when you're strong enough and you're experienced enough to get over any of these issues. And maybe you don't even experience any of these things during your transactions because you've already been so proactive on these items. I'd like to call on Amy right now. She raised her hand. Amy, are you there? Amy, are you on unmute yourself? Okay, and I'll move on to the next slide. Maybe she accidentally raised her hand. Now, one of the focuses of how I can teach you what is a strong, I guess, skill in today's COVID period is really how to negotiate per diems, or how to really negotiate extensions as well, because you don't always have to pay for time. Sometimes you could just ask for it and you might be able to get it. So some sellers or some buyers, some people are reasonable, some are not. I can't tell you who you're dealing with or who's on the other side of the party, but to me, requesting extra time, and it really depends on what is the source of the issue, what is creating this delay in your transaction. And if it's a reasonable thing, maybe you can request extensions without having to get penalized. But if there's a certain situation where it's my fault or my client's fault, then usually I try to negotiate per diems as a solution to satisfy the other party, because it's ultimately each party has their own responsibilities. And just a reminder, what are the seller responsibilities in a transaction? The seller has to send over disclosures and all reports and documentation and knowledge about the property. The seller has to give access. The seller has to provide like HOA documentations and or tenant estoppel certificates and rental contracts and anything relevant to the property like solar agreements. The seller also has to deliver clear title. So they have to satisfy any liens or any judgments against them. They have to be able to, make sure that they have all this authorized signing people. And if certain cases when they're divorced, they might have to get a quitclaim deed or chase after some documents. The seller also has to deliver possession of the property and deliver it clean and clear of furniture, trash, and just basically just leave the property in standard original condition. And there's a lot more seller responsibilities, but these are the primary basic responsibilities. The buyer has a lot of responsibilities as well. The buyer has to do their due diligence. They have to conduct investigations at their discretion. They could waive them. They have to sign and review disclosures. They have to obtain the financing, and that's the toughest one. They have to satisfy lender conditions and underwriting conditions. They have to review a ton of materials and documents like the HOA, CCNR's prelim title report, NHD, and the termite report. So they might have to schedule further investigations like electricians, plumbers, roofers, so on and so on. The buyer also has to, remove their contingencies after they've done their worked with their financing, and ultimately, both parties could be at breach of contract, and they could cause delays in the contract based on their own non-performance for everything that I just said before. If there's an item on the contract that they were supposed to do and they have not done it, any party can send over a notice to perform, because each of those items that I've told you do have deadlines. Okay? Do you know what those deadlines are? And if you do know the deadlines, you can send a notice to perform to get the contract, to get the transaction moving along and proceeding as on course. If you let any delays occur, it's going to continue to cause a repeat effect of delaying the entire transaction. And some are in our control, some are not. So my solution or suggestion to you is be very, very, I guess, like a ship sailing through the wind. The wind is going to take your ship in many different directions. We can't control it where it's going to take us, but we can control the rudder. We can steer it back on track. We can get our ship pointing in the right direction and navigating to the course of close of escrow. But you need to make minute changes. You need to create and understand and have a feeling of where the wind is blowing from. And that's going to help you become a very, very great agent. So whenever you get off course and whenever you have a delay, if the delay is your fault, then I would suggest you to negotiate a per diem. And like, for example, the close of escrow. And if you're 5 days behind closing, it's reasonable to pay $100 per day to the seller because you were supposed to close 5 days ago. And I think it's reasonable to pay whatever the seller's daily expenses are. That's the property tax, insurance, mortgage. If they have HOA, you can prorate everything. You can make it prorated, pay them a daily per diem, and that is very reasonable for a request. Some people say, but it's the appraiser's fault. It's the lender's fault. Ultimately, yeah, it could be, but guess what? That's the buyer's responsibility. Now, can you get the credit from the lender? Absolutely. Talk to your lender. If they caused a delay, you can negotiate with them. Buyer selected the lender. Buyer resolve it with their own lender. Okay? If the delay is because the buyer did due diligence too late, and that's a buyer's fault. But he had to work. He's working full time. Oh, there's weekends. You could do evenings. You could send a representative on your behalf. You could do a lot of different things, but ultimately 17 days to do due diligence is a plenty of time. If the delay is due to something like out of our control, maybe the buyer, maybe something happened with a leak, or suddenly the tenants don't cooperate, then both sides should just negotiate an extension because they need to resolve something first, or they need to work with the tenant and get an acceptable time frame for the appraiser to come out. And it should be reasonable and rational to plan ahead and negotiate further extensions. All it needs is both parties to sign an addendum agreeing to an extension. There does not have to be a daily rate charged, but I'm just saying there could be, depending on where the fault lies. So determine the source of the issue, analyze possible outcomes, plan ahead which the best outcome that we want to plan for, and you can justify any request or demand by simply just figuring out which contractual item is in breach or non-performance. And through, you know, continual constant communication, collaborating with all the parties. And when you request for these extensions, the timing of this is very important. So I usually like to time these things. When they ask for something, then I ask for something too. And so we're each helping each other satisfy our needs from both sides. So when you execute these items, for example, the request for repairs. If you have a property condition, there's maybe $2,000 worth of repairs, and maybe you're asking for a credit of 2,000, you know, I can say, well, if you give me, if you can satisfy and give me the $2,000 credit, I can request the buyer to remove their contingencies. Okay, that's fair. Or if you can give me this request for repair and we will remove the contingencies, but I already know that the appraiser was very late. We're 5 days behind schedule. Can we schedule 7 days extension or sooner on the close of escrow? Is that fair? Negotiating that early, you'll definitely be able to negotiate. I mean, at least understand so the other party knows, hey, we're 7 days behind schedule, so they don't have to rush themselves to move all the furniture out or to do certain items on the seller's performance. So the earlier you can get a resolution or understanding while they're asking for something from you, the better your outcome is going to be. Because I can tell you, asking for extensions right the day before close of escrow, you are at their mercy. They don't have to honor anything. Because maybe don't have to sign anything, and you are at the risk of losing your deposit, or maybe they have a backup buyer and they want, you know, just cancel you out. So it's very tough to negotiate it at the latter, you know, at the ending phase, because they're going to ask you for a per diem, and they don't even have to be reasonable. It doesn't have to be $100 a day. They can say, I want $1,000 a day, or we're going to cancel you. They could do that. Okay. So it's tough. You need to be strong in your negotiation skills. I hope this lesson really helps you as an agent on both sides of the negotiation table. Any questions on negotiation, per diems, delays, or extensions? You guys are quiet. I wish you guys, I mean, I don't know. When I deal with it, you guys always do have these issues. So now's a good time to learn. But I'll move on. If you guys don't have any questions, I will assume that you guys know this stuff. Go ahead. Did someone say something?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're listening and we're learning, and we receive a lot of new knowledge.
Great,
so yeah,
great.
please keep going.
All right, yeah, we'll keep on moving if you don't have any questions. This is the Dynasty Agent Resources slide. I have attorney comments on there and a lot of guidance in there to teach you. I put a little bit new marketing stuff as well up in the drive this past week. I put some new global luxury logo photos on there. I have some new backgrounds, and there's a new marketing images, the campaign that Coldwell Banker is doing. So check it out. Like our social media pages, our YouTube and Facebook, and understand the clear cooperation policy from NAR. I don't want you to get penalized, or I don't want you to be complaining to me that they're charging you $1,500 for a violation because you didn't register or properly report your listing to the MLS. It's $1,500 is a lot of money. I don't, and they could be at the maximum $2,500 if you do it, if you're a repeat offender. So make sure you know the compliance issues. When you take on a listing, you have to report it within 2 days and follow those steps. I've already talked about it in my past trainings. But if you do take a listing or you go into an escrow, we need to have a copy delivered to broker manager within 48 hours. I need a copy of the purchase contract and all counteroffers, and I need a copy of the listing. So please, please, please comply, do your duty. It's a simple email to forward over to us, and that way we can have it on file and know, and you know, this is a requirement in order for us to get the sign order up for you. Any questions on that? Lastly, don't forget, if you take any payments that should be considered as trust funds, then please, please, please go to the broker manager, send them a copy of the check, the dates that you received it, and the date you delivered it to the escrow or to the other party. I need to know what's going on with every single trust payment. Let's talk about our new listings, guys. I'm very excited to see you guys being busy. This is where I get to see you guys shine, and we're taking on new listings every single week. So Peter Wu, he has a brand new listing here on Riverside, 5426 Beatty Drive, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,118 square feet, remodeled interior, and is only 405,000. So pretty good lot, 7,400. So talk to Peter if you got a client for this in Riverside. Our brand new agent who just joined us last week, Sylvia Ramos. I'm very happy to see her grab her first listing over here with us. And she has 18242 Owatonna Road in Apple Valley. This is 228,000. It's gonna be, it is registered, just coming on the MLS soon. 3 beds, 2 baths, almost 2,000 square feet of living area. This is approximately 200 something a square foot, and you're getting more than half an acre. This is 23,000 lot size, built in 1987. Talk to her if you have a client for this large parcel and land in Apple Valley. Nancy Liu, are you here with us? If not, I'll pitch your new listing here at 5416 McCulloch Avenue, Temple City. And this is only 660,000. This is a steal. This is only 403 a square foot, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1636 square feet, Temple City. And this is unit A. So this probably only has, this is an end unit and might only have 1 common wall, built in 1980. Happy to see Nancy. I think this is going to sell quickly. Joan Huang, she has a beautiful San Marino listing. This is 2355 Roanoke Road, San Marino. Beautiful street just south of Huntington Drive. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2568 square feet, and a huge 13,451 lot size. We're asking 2.395 million. Again, yes, this is San Marino. That's why you have a great community. And if you have someone looking for this, talk to Joan if you have any questions. Congratulations to her luxury listing. Winnie Bai has 5326 Corona Street, back on market. This is in El Sereno, up and coming area. This is multifamily. Where can you get 3 units for 839,000? This is right here in El Sereno. Great price, good net operating income, and talk to her if you have a client. This is a legal triplex, fully permitted. So if you got anyone for Chino, I'm happy to see our lovely duo over here, Ling Lu and Julia Jang. Julia or Ling, you guys want to talk about your new listing? 689,000, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2930 square feet, and this to me is a steal. It's only 235 a square feet. That's pretty much around, or a little bit around, the cost of construction. So you're getting a nice structure in the land. Chino's a great area, up and coming. So I believe it will sell. Nilofar, she's got a nice piece of land over here in Los Angeles in the Mount Washington area. This is a 6,200 lot. Could probably build single family over here on the hillside with some views, and they're only asking 350,000. I'm not sure if there's any entitlements included or not. Talk to Neil for if you have any questions. And I love celebrating with their successes with you guys. Lots of closings going on. August has been a great month for Dynasty. You guys have been busy. I'm happy to see Tina Wu close Palm Drive, Rancho Cucamonga, above asking 515,000. That's I see a trend of a lot of listings are closing quickly and above asking. So we can tell this is a strong listing market. Sellers are getting the activity. Buyers are competing and writing multiple offers. So get listings, guys. Martin Kwok, congratulations to him. He sold his Arcadia property at 182 Palm Drive. He got $32,000 over asking, sold it easily in a week. Beautiful home, beautiful custom upgrades inside, and very, very lovely property. So there's Martin, and congratulations to him. David Tam, we just saw this, and he actually closed this escrow with financing in 21 days. So he closed out Lime Orchard Lane, Fontana. Buyer did their job, performed well ahead of time, and David did his thing, everything he could to get this property closed very quickly, over asking, and very proud to see our company is marketing well, getting over asking on our listings, and ultimately a very smooth transaction. Oh, I'm so proud to see Julia close 55 Eider Run. She worked so hard for this listing in Irvine. It was a new model home built in 2018. She's kept me involved in the transaction, and her buyer, the reason why it took a long time, the buyer had some financing issues and getting the loan approved because they had a foreigner visa, a lot of money, in China, and she was very, very fortunate and lucky to work with a listing agent that was willing to cooperate with her. They came together. They worked with Cathay Bank to get the financing. The only issue with this is they had to season the funds and qualify the back buyer. Very happy. Congratulations, Julia. And Helen Ma, she works hard every day. She's got 2904 Sign Avenue in Highland. Put this and close this in escrow. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Congratulations to her. Nice big 9840 lot. Happy to see you get your closing. Tawny Key, congratulations. She just sold the condo over here in Neil Armstrong Street, Montebello. This is unit number 232, and very quick and smooth escrow with her. 1221 Ewell Lane, Arcadia. Congratulations, Jackson Wong. You're amazing and worked hard. You've been doing great, so I'm very proud to see your success since you've returned back to Dynasty. Awesome, Jackson. And Amy and Steve, congratulations, 17029 Glen Hope, La Puente. Happy to see you guys tag team another transaction and work well and get a closing. And Henry Liu, Ironwood Court in Rancho Cucamonga. Congratulations, Henry, for closing. Love seeing your success as well. Margaret just closed the lease in El Monte in Cortada Street quickly. And is there anything else? Any coming soons? Anything you want to pitch? Any price reductions or back on markets? Nobody? So let me see here. If not, if you're having any issues on CB Exchange, here's a reminder about how to log in, and you can call the support desk for help. And I think that's the end of the slides. Just gonna lastly leave and set you all off with a little bit of motivation that success just doesn't come from what you do occasionally. Success comes from what you do consistently. And I do see consistent production and consistent great results from the agents who are really prospecting, talking and building relations with their friends, family, and sphere of influence. And I really see that success from a lot of you guys who are really putting in the work ethic and constantly, funneling and getting a lot of people under your pipeline through your e-marketing, through your campaigns, through just honestly just reaching out to your clients on a weekly or monthly basis, and that consistency really does add to your future success. You really have to, like planting, having a plant. You need to nurture and water that plant consistently, or else it's going to die. And that relationship you have, if you consistently water and nurture and see over slowly time, that plant will start to grow. Your relationship becomes stronger, and you become very, very strong with your clients, and they trust you. So with that, I want to just say, wish you a great week. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always reach out to your broker manager for support, and text me or email me as well if you have anything you want me to review. And I'd love to see you guys soon. So be grateful for everything, guys. Very happy. Any questions? Well, have a great week. I'll see you guys next Tuesday for my training and next Wednesday for a sales meeting. And be sure to join the upcoming training sessions, guys.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.